Okay, you've now created your GM code using EdgeCam. We now need to learn the program that runs the mill, and that's CNCMotion. But before we open that program, I need you to install the air vise. So you need to go down to your window, All Programs, CNCMotion, and go to CNC Configuration. You actually can't use this in simulation, but I want you to see what the button looks like. So we're going to go to Options. I already installed it here. It's called Air Vise Output, but what you need to do is go down here to Reinstall. When you click Reinstall, there will be an Air Vise option right here. You click that box. Reinstall will be black. You can click on Reinstall, and this says Installed Options. It'll say Air Vise Output. Once you're done that, you can now open up CNCMotion. Click OK. Now, the first thing you're going to do, I'm going to exit out of my GM code, is you're going to open up your GM code. So go to where you saved it and open that up. Now, if your boxes are all over the place, like this, it's a pain in the butt. So you come up here to Window and go to Run and Edit. Now, we need to learn this program at our desks before we go over to the mill. We are not learning this program at the mill because that means you're tying up the mill and you're wasting my time and you're wasting other people's time, and that makes me angry. So at your desk, you are running through this program, learning how it works. All these buttons are 99% the exact same. The only real difference are these two buttons. You will not have these buttons when you are connected to the mill, and I'll show you these buttons a little later. Everything else is pretty much accurate. So the first thing we're going to do is we have our GM code. We're going to check to make sure that our T00 code, which is telling our machine what size mill or end mill we are using, is correct with this program. So we in EdgeCam we're using a 1/4 inch end mill, which is what we want, and that code was T00. Right now our EdgeCam and our CNCMotion tools are not connected, so the numbers are off. So what we have to do is go up here to Tools, go up to Setup Library, and we'll notice our T00 code is actually for an 1/8 inch end mill. So we don't want that. So if I go to T03, that is for a 1/4 inch end mill, and it has 4 teeth, and that's what I want. So I need to change all my T00 to T03. So if I click here, I can't edit. I have to unlock this. So if I come up here to Edit, and I come down here and uncheck Lock, I can now edit my GM code. I'm going to click here, type in T03. I can scroll down and try to find all my other T's, or what I can do is hit Control F, type in T0, find next, and there we go. And now I'm going to change all my T00 codes to T03 codes, and I have found all that there is. Okay, so all my tools are now 1/4 inch end mills. I now need to create a 0 point, my origins, and that's going to be on this top left corner here. So when you actually are at the mill, what you're going to have to use is this little keypad. So you want X, you go over, Y comes up, and Z goes down. Now when you get close, you're going to be on speed, or to get close you can be on speed 60. I'm going to zoom in here. So to zoom in, I just hold my right mouse button and I click towards, and it'll zoom in. And to tilt, you can use the little scroller button on your mouse, and that will tilt up and down. So I want this to be my 00. So when you're on the mill and you start getting close to that point on your keypad, what you need to do is go slower so that you don't ram your bit into your object like I just did. An impact has occurred, because you're going to mess up your block. You're also going to mess up my bit. So when you get close, you get extremely slow and gently touch the side of your block, and then you zero your X, then you gently touch this side to zero your Y, and then you put in your bit and you gently touch the top so that you can zero your Z. But for us, we have this handy dandy tool in simulation mode, and it will automatically zero or automatically select the corner. Then you go up to setup, you go to set position, and you make sure all of these are zeros. Click OK. So now this machine knows, okay, that's my origins point, that's my 0, 0, 0 point. And the rest of your code is going to be based off that point. If you do not set that point, your box will be screwed up and you will not get a good grade. This is very, 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 very important. Do not screw that up. So I have my origin point set. I've changed my T003, and you guys now know how to manually control the mill. Okay, so see how that's in a slow speed. If I went to 60, I can move it a lot faster. So what I now need to do is get my bit into the home position. So I click on this home. It looks exactly the same when you're at the mill. I'm going to click quick home, and I am now in the home position. I'm going to zoom out so you can see this. Right now my shield is up. I have to close my shield before I run my program. And over here is a button that will open and close my shield. And notice when I click it, the shield pops up. When I click it again, the shield pops down. Okay, that is how you control the shield. So I need my shield down. Now, one thing we didn't go over because I didn't need to in this program, it automatically put my piece in a vise. But what you guys will need to do, and this will be one of your beginning steps, is you will need to control the pneumatic vise. So by clicking this button, it'll open the vise, and by clicking it, it will close the vise. So you'll need to put your workpiece in that vise while it's open, then close it so that it is secure. And that it looks exactly the same here, and that's where you control the vise. These will control your spindle. Right now we don't need to worry about that because our program has a code in here that will turn on our spindle. So we are homed. We are now ready to run our program. So over here we're going to see exactly what our mill is doing. Over here, this is a verify window. This is our block, and it's going to give us kind of a close-up of what our mill is doing. You want to, as we're watching this, make sure your mill isn't hitting the vise. Make sure you set your 0 point. Make sure you put in the right bit. These are all things that you're looking for as you verify this. You want to make sure you catch any mistakes here in this process and not when you are on the actual mill cutting out your box for real. If you're catching mistakes over there when you're cutting out for real, that's points off your grade. When you're catching mistakes in this process, you can change it. So the next step here is to hit play. It's saying select the program. I want mine. My program is bottom. I'm going to hit run program. Now up here it says insert tool 3 now. And that is already inserted, so I'm going to hit play, or you can hit F5, and you'll notice the spindle turned on. You can see it spinning, and it is now coming down and cutting in my material. So you can watch this mill cut out your box. You can also watch over here in your verify, and as you're watching, you're making sure that there isn't any sudden impacts, meaning it doesn't hit the vise. There is nothing screwing up. And you want to make sure by the end of this it looks like what you want it to look like. The other most important thing here is part time. When you're completely finished watching this, you're going to see what was your part time. How long is it going to take to cut out? So if it says 15 minutes here, you need to make sure you have 15 plus minutes, because it's going to take 15 minutes to cut out. It's going to take you a good 5 minutes to set up, and then a good 5 to 10 minutes to clean up. So you're going to need plenty of time for all of that to happen. So that is how you set up CNCMotion. This is how you verify that what you created in EdgeCam, your GM code, is actually working and that there is no mistakes. So good luck.